friends, this is Holly from Let's Knit Designs, and I wanted to show you how I make bobbins of yarn, specifically for a lot of my intarsia in the round patterns. Having these handy little bobbins of yarn mean that you're not detangling multiple skeins of yarn. Instead, you're just gonna have a nice little compact bobbin at the end. So here I have my yarn that I measured out. It's really simple. This is how I was taught to do it. I lay my hand down, make sort of a V. I lay this over, and I just start wrapping back and forth. So over the bottom, behind, like making a figure eight on my fingers, right? So I'll start that again and I'll show you. Just lay it over the bottom, go around the back of the top, around the back of the bottom, over. Again, just making what looks like a figure eight sort of on my fingers. And now the key to this is to not overlap the yarn. I'm just gonna line it up on my hands. If I just sort of do it willy-nilly, it won't come out of the bobbin nicely. So, and when we're done, we're gonna be pulling from this end. So what I'm just gonna keep doing is laying it really nicely over my fingers so that it doesn't overlap at all. And if you're like me and have kind of short fingers, you might have to sort of slide it down a little bit, but you'll be glad that you did this carefully when you're using your bobbins, because then when the yarn slides out, it'll slide out super easily and it won't tangle. Okay. All right, I'm coming to the end. I've got maybe, I don't know, 18 inches left here at the end of my yarn, not much yarn left. So I'm just gonna slide this off carefully, trying to keep things from overlapping too much, avoid heartache in the future. And then I'm just going to gently wrap this around. Make sort of a nice tidy middle part. I'm coming to the end, so I'm gonna plop my finger in there, just make a tiny knot. It's not even a knot, I'm just laying this yarn underneath to catch it. And so now what I have is this handy bobbin. This is the end I just tied. This is the end I started with. And what happens is when I'm knitting, I'll connect this side to my working yarn. This will be my working side. And as I knit with it or purl with it, I just pull this out nicely, and it just pulls out so nicely, little by little. And then what you can have is when you're working your piece, so here's my raglan as it's being worked, and you can see I have, for instance, I have these 3 friendly bobbins that are sitting here. And so instead of untangling multiple skeins of yarn, which is just truly a headache, and I did it before I learned about making bobbins, instead all I have to do is untangle these. And these sort of sit nicely in my work. I come to them, I work the colors, I lay them over nicely, and when I'm done, they just sort of sit there like well-behaved bobbins. So that is how I make a yarn bobbin, and I encourage you, if you're making the kids pullover, the rainbow raglan kids pullover, to definitely make bobbins like these with your measured yarn amounts. Good luck and happy knitting.